Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing really well and welcome back to a brand new studio vlog. If you're new here, I'm Shannon and I'm a pet portrait and wildlife artist and I specialise in coloured pencils, so if that's of interest to you then keep on watching. So in these vlogs I tend to just share bits and bobs of what I get up to on an average week in the studio, and today is Monday and this morning I've just been doing loads of admin bits like catching up on emails and Facebook comments and messages and all that kind of stuff. I actually had a day off on Friday. Myself and my dad went over to the Lake District and we went for a walk and just made the most out of the sunshine, so I felt like I had quite a lot to catch up on this morning, so I've just been doing that. I had a few Etsy orders and orders from my website to do, and I've also got my writing desk back in this room now, so I'm feeling a lot more organised and put together at the minute. I've actually got something quite fun on later on today. I'm finishing my work a little bit early to meet up with Becca, who is another artist. She does pet portraits and wildlife art as well, and we met through Instagram. So yeah, we don't actually live that far from each other and we've met up a couple of times before. If you do like watching this kind of stuff, Becca's actually got her own channel on YouTube that you can go and watch. She does really nice videos, so I definitely recommend checking her out if you don't already follow her. So we're actually going to a paint and sip class and I've wanted to go to one of these for a while now. I think it's going to be very different to the workshops that I've been doing. The ones that I do are very chilled, very just like relaxed, but this is going to be a little bit different because it's in a cocktail bar, it's in Revs, so you can have a drink while you're painting and God knows what the painting's going to come out looking like. I might embarrass myself with how rubbish this painting could be because I don't paint. I'm not very good at painting. I prefer drawing, and also after a cocktail or two I feel like it could potentially look not so much like a zebra, more like a big splattered mess. We both said we're going to be like still painting the eye when everyone else is finished because that's just what we're like. We're very focused on details, being coloured pencil artists, so yeah, I don't ever paint anything, I always draw, so this is going to be a little bit different, but we're just going for a bit of fun, like we're not taking it seriously at all. These sorts of classes are just like a fun way of getting your friends together and doing something a little bit different, so yeah, it's going to be interesting being like the attendee rather than the one running the workshop because I have been doing my own art workshops recently. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's all run and see what it's like to be somebody attending a class like this. So we're going to go out for some tea first. I'm getting the bus at 3 o'clock over to Preston. I'm not driving because I do want to have a little bit of a drink while we're out, and yeah, we're just going to have a good chat and catch up because it's been a good couple of months since we last saw each other, so yeah, it's going to be really nice. But before I get started today, I also wanted to update you because I've made a Facebook group dedicated to my YouTube community. So if you like watching any of these videos or following along with any of my coloured pencil tutorials, it's somewhere that you can post the work that you've created and sort of just like build a bit more of a community where people can comment on others' posts and see the sort of things that people are drawing. And yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to have a dedicated Facebook group because I've got one for my Patreon. We have like a closed invite only Patreon group, so if you sign up to my Patreon you can then join the group, and I always say like once a patron, always a patron, so I'm not going to kick you out of it, you can stay, but I thought it'd be nice to have a separate group for YouTube because it'd just be nice to have somewhere that you can share your work and stuff, and also like if you've got any video suggestions it would be a good place to put that, so I will link that down below. And while on the topic of Facebook groups, I've also made one for my workshops, so anytime that I post a new workshop date I'll put it in the workshop group. So I've got all the Facebook groups now, but I just thought it'd be a nice way of like updating you in one place. So yeah, I'll leave the link to both of those down below. I have the best clients ever. How beautiful are these flowers that one of my commission clients sent me? They're so nice. I just think that's the most thoughtful, kind thing ever. Like, oh, it just fills my heart. It makes me really happy that my clients are happy with the work that I'm producing for them. So yeah, they're from the Flower Shop by Morgan in Garstang, and that is my favourite flower shop. I've actually done some commissions for this client before and she sent me some flowers last time as well, so honestly I just feel like the luckiest person in the world, and yeah, I just get a little bit emotional with stuff like this because it just makes me feel like what I'm doing is having a positive impact on people. How gorgeous do they look? I'm not very good at flower arranging, I'm not gonna lie, but oh, I just love them, and I love the sunflowers as well. We're actually drawing a sunflower on Patreon too, so that's very apt. How thoughtful and gorgeous, and they look so nice on my recently upcycled writing desk, although I've somehow managed to miss a little bit there, so I need to put some browning wax on that, but at least I've got somewhere to store my stuff again. Okay, so like I said, I've got a few hours before I need to go and get the bus, so I'm going to do a little bit more work on Elvis, the German pointer, who is a commission that I'm working on. And I think I might have mentioned in my previous video that he is one of my friend's dogs, so it's always lovely when I get to draw a familiar face that I've actually met in person. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this commission and I've been making good progress on it. I loved drawing the collar, I did that last week, and I think it's looking good, it's coming along well, so I'm going to start working my way across. So if you're new here, I use Faber-Castell Polychromos coloured pencils for all of my drawings, although sometimes I do use some Caran d'Ache luminance and Pablo pencils, but it all depends on if I've got all of the colours that I need in the Polychromos or not. They do have a bit more variety in the luminance. So I'm just adding a base colour, which is Cold Grey 1, and I always like to add a pale base colour. It just gives you a good smooth foundation to work on top of. But I've got so many tutorials and videos on exactly how I like to draw, so they're probably a little bit more helpful. Oh gosh, I'm so clumsy honestly. So yeah, I'm just gonna carry on bringing this across. I do find with the Canson Moulin de Roy hot pressed watercolour paper, which is what I'm using for this piece, I can sort of get away with applying more pressure and getting the colours more pigmented. So I really like the way that this is looking, really nice vibrant colours. And I'm using Payne's Grey 181 to start mapping in some of these darker areas now. But yeah, I've been feeling really organised and on top of things recently, which for a long time I haven't felt like that. And I think a big reason that I've been feeling more on top of things is because I've been using Trello to organise all of my daily checklists and stuff. So it's essentially a Kanban board and it just helps you to organise things into different cards. I can just break everything up and it's been an absolute godsend, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I've just been feeling really organised, and it's funny because I feel like this past few weeks I've been doing a lot of other stuff to try and make the most of summer, and I've not been feeling stressed because I've been getting everything that I need to get done finished and more. And I think it's because I have been getting organised and using Trello to make sure I'm not forgetting things, because I was finding that things were slipping my mind very easily. Yeah, if you're struggling to get organised and you've tried a variety of different methods, I would recommend having a go at using Trello if you haven't already. I love the patches in the fur on German pointers. I just think they look so nice, and I've been wanting to draw one for ages, so this is thoroughly enjoyable to me right now. Yeah, I've been trying to find more creative ways of bringing commission work in. So in my last vlog I went and did a bit of drawing outside in public, and I drew part of Elvis's portrait, and I had such a lovely response for doing that, both from people that I met while I was out and those of you that have seen it online and I've sort of inspired you to go and do the same thing. I would highly recommend going and trying that. It's really good for getting you out there a little bit more. Oh, I need to print some posters out. My mum is working in a pet shop and they said that I could put a poster in there, so I need to add that to my Trello board actually, so that I don't forget to do it. So yeah, putting posters and stuff in local shops. But my biggest goal this year is to get out there more in my local community, because I do not make the most of that enough. I tend to focus more of my efforts online, which is great because you've got the whole world at your fingertips when you're online, and there's like a limitless amount of exposure that you can get. But I also just think it's really good to get out in your local community too, so I've been trying to do a little bit more of that. This is a Pablo pencil, a dark grey, and I really like this for drawing black dogs, just using it to break up these lighter bits a tiny bit more. I absolutely love drawing shiny black fur like this. I've been enjoying using my really cheap metal pencil sharpener recently. So I bought a set of these which I use for workshops because they're a little bit cheaper, but they're still really good at sharpening. They give you a really sharp point, and I have to use this one for like my thicker pencils like the Derwent drawing, because they're really thick cases. So for example, like this one, I have to use the thicker one anyway. So, but I've been enjoying just using that for my smaller pencils too. I feel like I've been getting a sharper point than I have with my Derwent Super Point manual sharpener, which is like a big desk sharpener. So yeah, it's a good way of saving money if you're just starting out. Just get one of those cheaper metal pencil sharpeners. Just using a bit of black to darken up these patches. But yeah, what can I catch you up on? I need to do my expert tier member art reviews over on Patreon. I've sent the Google Forms and I'm going to check what's been submitted tomorrow when I have a little bit more time, so that I can sit down and properly like give my recommendations and feedback and stuff. So I'm going to get on with that tomorrow, I think. But I'd kind of like Mondays to be more of a commission day, just easing myself into the week and getting a little bit creative with some drawing. And then I like to do my filming on like Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday usually. So I've got a really good routine going. I'm really pleased with how I'm getting on with everything. It is hard to organise your time as a self-employed person, and especially as an artist, because these things take a lot of time. Like you can see, it's taken me a good 10 minutes to do this teeny tiny little bit, but it's all good fun. Just gonna map this bit in a little bit more. I had a lovely weekend. I went to Stratford upon Avon with my cousin Kirsty, who's coming on the Kenya trip with us, and some of her friends. So we went to celebrate a friend's 30th. And I've actually done commissions for a friend before, so the 4 Labrador commissions that I did, I definitely shared some in a vlog on here. It was her dogs that I did the commissions of, so yeah, we have met a couple of times before and it was really lovely. We went to Shakespeare's birthplace, his house, we went to his new house. We had a lovely meal and went for some drinks and stuff, so it was just really nice, a nice girly weekend. I feel like you need one of those every now and then. And yeah, what a lovely little place Stratford upon Avon is. I love a historical town or village, or you know, somewhere a bit quiet. I considered vlogging it, but because I didn't really know everyone like really well, I just thought I'm not gonna vlog it. I'm just gonna enjoy myself. And I've got another nice weekend coming up because I'm going to like a little mini music festival on Sunday. It's a Blossoms gig in Manchester, but there's also a few other bands there, like The K's, Inhaler, and was there someone else? I can't remember. But if you like indie music, then you need to listen to The K's because they're really good. Just not stop listening to their album all week, so that's going to be really good. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm just really trying to make the most of summer at the minute. Because I feel like last summer and the summer before I didn't do that much, so I'm just making the most of it and having lots of plans and stuff. So yeah, one thing about me is that I do love music. I love going to gigs, festivals, stuff like that. So I think now I might put some music on, probably the K's album, and then I will be meeting up with Becca very shortly.
talking more often.
We had such a good time at the paint and sip last night. I really recommend doing that if you like doing things that are a little bit creative and you don't want to take it too seriously, you just want to have a laugh. It was so much fun. I'll show you the painting that I did. So this is Gertrude, and we thought that it was a female because I did the eyelashes really big. She's definitely been going to the lash salon. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be taking up painting anytime soon because I just don't think I'm naturally good at painting. Like, I don't think I'm fluid and free-flowing enough for painting. I mean, it's something that I could probably learn to do, but I think I would very much be starting from scratch. But yeah, it was so much fun. It was only 2 hours, so it did feel like we had to pack a lot of painting into that time, but it almost made it more fun because you were up against a time limit to try and get it all done. And yeah, it was just really good fun, and Becca's turned out a lot better than mine did. I think we called him Gavin or something. Gertrude and Gavin. I can't remember what we called hers. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be going on my studio wall. I think it'll be going in a box or a folder somewhere just to keep for the memes. But I would definitely do that again. We were actually saying we should have a look at doing something like that around Christmas time and get a few more people coming and have like a big group of us. I think that'd be good fun. So yeah, would recommend. We also had a bottle of wine while we were doing it, and I think having a drink while doing something like that makes it so much harder to follow the instructions. Like, I definitely went off a little bit on a tangent and did my own thing at one point because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, the ears didn't go very well. That's kind of where I got a little bit lost. I just sort of started doing my own thing on them, but it was good fun. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm feeling a little bit delicate today, so I've just done all of my admin bits and now I am going to get on with some Patreon filming. So yeah, we'll see how I get on today. So this is one of the tutorials that we're working on Patreon at the moment, and this is the fundamentals tutorial. So obviously we're working on a sunflower, and I've always wanted to draw a sunflower, especially from this angle, you know, not straight on the sort of typical round sunflower image that you might see. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. I'm excited to like get stuck into all of these green bits here. We're going to do the actual like face of the flower first, and then we'll move on to the green bits. I've got a lot of paint in my nails still from last night. I can't seem to get it out. But yeah, I'm going to work on this today, and then we'll do some more filming throughout the week because I've also got a bald eagle tutorial that is for the advanced and expert tiers. So yeah, like I said in my last vlog, I've got a new tier now, and do you know what, the funniest thing happened this morning? So if you did watch my last vlog, I had a bit of a nightmare where none of the content from the advanced tier was available on the expert tier. I had to go through and individually grant permission for the expert tier to access those videos on every single post, and there was over 100 different posts that I had to individually edit because Patreon didn't let you mass edit posts. And this morning I've just had a notification pop up on Patreon saying you can now mass edit posts, and I'm like, well no, where was this last week when I had that nightmare? Honestly, that is just so typical, but oh well, at least it's done now. It's just what are the chances that they would make that like a feature just after I spent hours doing it? Oh well, never mind. Okie dokie, I've got my camera set up and I'm ready to get filming, so I'm gonna work on the right hand side of the flower now, so let's see how far I get. Okie dokie, so that is the current progress of the sunflower tutorial. I think once we add a bit more of this like middle bit in here, it'll start to look more like a sunflower, but I'm really pleased with how that's going. Maybe I need to blend this a little bit more too, but that can all be done in the next video, so it's all good. But yeah, making good progress with that. So I've just had an Amazon delivery. I ordered a portable battery pack for Kenya because we're going to be camping for 5 days. So I'm going to need to be able to charge all of my electronics. So I'm going to be vlogging and I want to make sure I've got enough charge to capture loads and loads of content while I'm out there. So I ordered this and it just seems like an absolute monstrosity of a charger. Like, look at the size of that. It looks like it's military grade or something. But the reason that I bought this one is because it's got a solar panel on the front of it. So you should be able to charge it in direct sunlight. So I need to test it out and see if it actually works before we go, because I want to make sure that I'm taking the best option and that I can keep everything charged. But yeah, wow, that is hefty. Look at the size of it compared to my head. That is pretty big and it's heavy as well. So it had really good reviews on Amazon though, and I purchased this with a voucher that I was kindly sent by Jean on Instagram. If you happen to watch Jean, thank you so much for that. It was really generous and I purchased this with it, so I'm going to be able to keep my charge in Kenya. But yeah, she asked for a little bit of help with something and then kindly sent me an Amazon gift voucher as a thank you, which she did not need to do at all, and I would never expect anything in return for helping you guys with anything. So yeah, that was really kind, and I feel like I'm gonna be okay. I feel like this is like gonna see me through those 5 days, and we can charge on the coach and stuff while we're out there when we're going from place to place. So yeah, I have been thinking about getting possibly a new camera for Kenya because I want to make sure I can do the best vlogs that I can possibly do, but we're going to see how we get on. But yeah, that is the ideal if I can get a new camera. I've mostly got everything now that I need for the trip, so if you've not been following along with me, myself and fellow wildlife artist Zoe Fitchett are taking a group of travellers over to Kenya in September to go on safaris and see all the wildlife, so it's going to be absolutely incredible. We're doing it with a company called Trova Trip. We basically had to promote the trip and then get enough bookings on the trip to confirm it and go, and we managed to do that, which was just one of the best things to come out of this year, to be honest. So I'm really excited for that. I feel like I've got most of the things that I need, but one of the main things that I need to do is actually plan and gather all the things that we need for the workshops that we'll be doing, because we're going to be doing some art workshops out there, which is just like the coolest thing ever. Can you think of a better backdrop to draw African wildlife than the savannah of Kenya while we're out there camping? So yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm excited, and I can't believe it's literally a month away. That has gone so fast. How exciting. So now I am going to get on with some commissions. I'm actually going to work on a couple of commissions that I can't share with you because they are gifts. I don't want to risk ruining the surprise. So I'm going to get on with those this afternoon, and then I will catch you up whenever. The raw umber 180, and we'll just start to add a bit more details. We'll add that in. Not gonna lie, I am feeling a lot fresher today. I feel like I looked how I felt yesterday. I didn't feel my best, but you can't really expect to after you've had a bottle of wine and a cocktail. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. And I've finished up editing the second part of the sunflower tutorial, so that is exporting now and I can get that uploaded for Patreon. And I'm going to get on with the second part of the bald eagle tutorial, so I need to do the filming for that and then edit it as well. So it's actually quite a big piece, this, but that is what we've got so far. So yeah, I'm going to get stuck into some of the other feathers. So this is what we've got so far. It looks a little bit funny at the minute because I've done a dark outline around the head because the feathers that are surrounding it are very dark. But yeah, just a bit of a floating head at the minute. But I'm pleased with how it's looking, and I think it's going to be a really nice piece once it's done. I think I'll probably get a frame for this one. And both of the pieces that I'm drawing for Patreon actually will be for sale. So if you ever see an original drawing that I do and you're interested in purchasing it, you will be able to buy them. I've got some on my website, but obviously these ones won't go on until they're finished. But yeah, you can reserve it, put a deposit down if you decided that you wanted to purchase anything. But yeah, let's get on with the next part now. There we go, I've just finished the next part. Always looks really funny when you do it in little sections like this, but once it all starts to come together, I'm sure it'll look really good. But I'm pleased with those feathers. I feel like it's going to take a while to do the whole thing, but you've just got to take it like little bit by bit with something like this. So yeah, I'm going to have some lunch now, and then this afternoon I'm probably going to get on with some more commissions or something. I'm really close to finishing this portrait of Elvis now. I've just got this like bottom right bit to do, and I want to like refine the head and stuff at the end, because one thing that I find with this Canson Moulin de Roy hot pressed watercolour paper is that because it's a little bit on the soft side, like it's smooth and it's soft, the colour can sort of come out quite easily. Say if you lean your hand over with a bit of tracing paper, it does lift the colour out, so you have to go back in and darken it up. Also, I did some lighter colours first on the face. I used the dark grey from the Pablos, but as the drawing's gone on, I've sort of realised that I don't really need to do that, and it actually looks better if I just go straight in with the Payne's grey on top of the cold grey one base colour that I've been using. So yeah, I just need to go in and darken up the face at the end, but other than that, I'm really not that far off, to be honest. So this Saturday, I think I should be going to give Paddy a visit. So I think if the weather's nice, I might try and get him out for a walk. But you know what he's like. He doesn't walk if the weather isn't nice and it's not raining. He's a fair weather boy, and I've not seen him now for a couple of weeks. So I was like, I really want to go and see him this weekend. So yeah, I'll see what I can get filmed then as well. He has grown quite a lot since I last was sharing him properly on here. I do miss him a lot, think about him a lot, and look back at old pictures and I get a bit upset. It's nice that I can still go and see him, and he's really happy because he's with another dog, so he's loving it. He has constant attention all the time. I'm having a little bit of a nightmare at the minute because the website where I usually buy my cardstock to make greeting cards is completely out of stock. Last time I did an order, it only let me order 20 sheets, which isn't really enough for the amount of cards that I'm creating. So yeah, unfortunately, I think this means that I'm going to have to put my Etsy shop on hold, put it on holiday mode, and just not accept any orders until I can get some more cardstock. This is kind of the problem that you have when you've only got one supplier that you can rely on for your materials that you use for your products, because the Tintoretto Gesso card, I have seen it on other websites, but it's really expensive and not even worth bothering with. So there's no point me ordering it anywhere else because I'll just be paying ridiculous amounts of money for it and not making anything on my own products. So yeah, I think that is probably the best thing to do. Hold off until it's back in stock and just take all of the products off Etsy and stuff and just put my shop in holiday mode. I could individually go through and put the cards out of stock and keep the prints and stuff, but to be honest, for the amount of time that would take, I might as well just put the whole thing in holiday mode and have a little break from making Etsy orders. I'm going to see if I can do that on my website, just put all the cards out of stock and then keep the gift tags and bookmarks and stuff. But yeah, what a shame. To be honest, I've been thinking about my shop in general lately, and I think it's no secret that you don't make a lot of money selling merchandise and printed goods unless you're selling lots and lots of things, or you're able to like really get the profit margins up and the cost of everything down. So yeah, I'm sort of realising that it takes a lot more time than the return that I actually get back for it, which I've always known that, because I don't do it to make money necessarily. I do it more just to get my products out there, to get my art in more people's homes, to spread the word. And yeah, I think I might use this time as a time to reflect on what it is that I want to do, and I might consider putting my prices up, and then at least the time that I am putting into my shop, it's like I get a bit more out of it. But yeah, I'll see what I decide to do. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna put a pause on the online orders and concentrate on other things. So I've set up a back in stock alert anyway, so as soon as the card comes back, I will hop on and grab a load of sheets. But I don't know when that's going to be. It could be next week, it could be next month. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to consider finding a different card stock if it doesn't come back in stock, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, I think. So I've just put this little message on my shop. I've said apologies for any inconvenience, but greeting cards are temporarily unavailable, and I've chosen mini prints as a category to display on my shop. So it only lets you choose either all products or one category. So for the time being, I'll just leave it at that. Like my bookmarks and gift tags and larger prints, I'll just have to take the hit and have those off as well. But hopefully the card stock will come back soon and this won't be an issue anymore. I'm thinking of having a full admin day tomorrow and just sorting through things like my website, my Patreon tutorial pages and stuff like that. So I think I might sit down and individually put every greeting card out of stock tomorrow, and then at least the rest of my website can be up and running as normal and people can still buy other products. But for now, while I just want to get on with like other things, I'm just going to leave it as it is. But yeah, I think an admin day would be good. I have a lot of things that I need to sort through, and I don't like just sitting down and doing an hour or two of admin. I'd rather just sit down, crack on for the whole day and get loads and loads of stuff done. Because I've still got loads of tutorials that I want to make available to keep as well, the ones that I've put on my website, and there's just so many little niggly things like that that I need to do that I find really boring, and I just need to get on with it. But now I'm going to film yet another tutorial. I'm going to do the next part of the horse, which is one that I've been doing for YouTube. So yeah, I feel like I just film tutorials most of the time these days, but it's what I actually get up to. It's realistic, so let's do it. Okie dokie, I've got my setup. So got my drawing, got my camera all ready to go. And I'm thinking of doing the ear in this video. I don't often draw horses, so I'm just taking my time, making sure that I get all of the structure right and the shine and stuff in the fur. So yeah, I think it's going to look good when it's finished though. And hopefully those of you that are following along are enjoying this one. I always like to do some free tutorials on YouTube because it's a nice way of getting people into coloured pencils without investing too much. And I think it's just good to have a range of tutorials that are accessible to different types of people. So yeah, hope you enjoy this one. There we go, that is the progress on the horse tutorial. I'm really pleased with it. I think it's going to look really good once it's finished. And I just realised that I've done my day the wrong way around. I wanted to edit a video first and I just didn't. So I think I'm going to do that next. I'll edit the bald eagle tutorial, get that uploading, and then I can post that at some point today. Look at Charlie in the rockery. Made himself all cosy in there, hasn't he? Are you comfy there? the lilies have opened. It looks so pretty. Look how beautiful that is, how colourful. And there's one left to open still. I completely forgot that there's a power cut today. It's like one that they've planned in to do some work. I don't really know what they're doing, but it means that I'm not going to have any lighting or power to charge my laptop or anything like that, and I've got no Wi-Fi, but thankfully I've been able to personal hotspot things to my phone. But yeah, I think I'm just going to get on with doing some drawing now. I might actually do a little bit more of the giraffes that I've started but not finished, that I'm going to donate to the East African Wildlife Project. So it's a conservation project that we're going to be visiting when we go to Kenya next month. So I would like to get that finished and sold hopefully soon, and then I can donate the money to the Wildlife Conservation Project. But yeah, I could start a new commission, but I just think I need to get on with that as well. So I might just do that now while I've got no lighting or anything. And yeah, see how I get on. I've got a fitness class later on tonight, and I don't know how long this power cut's going to be. I think it's only supposed to be a few hours, so hopefully by the time it starts getting a bit darker, I'll have some lighting again. So this is where I've got up to so far. I've done quite a bit on this and I've got light again. So I'm just gonna do this for the rest of the day now. I'm actually watching a Netflix documentary while I'm drawing. This is the TikTok dance cult. I love a documentary about a cult, and I've never heard about this before, so I thought that would be interesting to listen to while I draw. So let's see how far I can get with this. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous now to move on to the grassy area. Just show you what we're dealing with. This reference is by Andy Morphew. And yeah, I always get a bit nervous to do any sort of foreground or bits of, you know, nature and surrounding environment. It's always a little bit daunting, especially when you've just finished the animals themselves and you don't want to ruin them. It's got to be done, so I'm going to crack on and see how I get on. So I'm having my admin day today, and I've had a query on my Facebook page for a portrait with 3 dogs, so I've just done a mock-up just to see how they'd all look together. If I ever get anything that's more than just like a standard headshot or anything like that, you know, something that needs a bit more work on the composition, I'll do a mock-up on Affinity Photo. I'll cut all of the different images out and I'll put them together so that I can sort of give a visual idea of what it'd look like, because I wouldn't want to just tell someone, yeah, I can put the images together, and then they don't actually all match up and fit together nicely. So yeah, I think this looks really nice, and these are all ex-police dogs, which is really interesting. That composition works quite nicely. So all I do is I get this tool, freehand selection tool, and I cut round all of the images and then use the eraser with like a softness to it to get that nice blended out look. So I'm going to send her this photo, see what she thinks, and just play around with different options, because sometimes I like to give like a few different options just to show that there's choices. I can't even begin to describe how much of a head scramble this afternoon has been. So I've been doing my Patreon pages that I have on my own website, so that when you do each tutorial you can just check the materials list and you can get all the links to each part of the tutorial. I just like to have it on my website, and then it's on my website, I can control it, I can design it however I want, and all of the links are there. And because I've got a fair few tutorials now, like I've got all of these pages that I've made, my website is starting to get a little bit slow, and it popped up today with a message saying I'm on page 70 out of 100. You can only have 100 individual pages, so I'm getting to the top end of the amount of pages that I'm allowed. So it said instead you should consider setting up dynamic pages. I've seen this pop up before, but I found it a bit confusing, so I just ignored it. But I thought maybe I should look into this. So what I've done is I have set up a dynamic page for my tutorials, but when I tell you I have been so confused by it, it's now 4:10, and for the past four or 5 hours I've been doing this, and yeah, it's just one of those things where the first time you do anything new when it comes to technology or anything like that, it can take you the best part of half a day or a full day to figure it out. And once you figure it out, this is the thing, once you figure it out, it actually makes things easier, because basically now if I go onto the dynamic page content management system, I've created a collection for my tutorials. So basically all of these pages have the exact same layout. All of the text boxes are in the same place. I just change the content. So the titles, what's in each text box. And this is the thing that I struggled to get my head around. I couldn't figure out how to add a new page that was the same but different. So the first one that I did was the donkey tutorial, and then I ended up overriding everything that I did by adding the hummingbird one because I didn't add it properly, and I was so annoyed at myself because it took me so long to do it, but I think I finally figured it out. So I just have to add a new item and then copy the content and slightly tweak it each time I add a new tutorial page. But this probably isn't even making sense if you've not used dynamic pages before, but it's just been an absolute confusing day, and I feel like I've used my brain a lot more than usual. But yeah, if you need help with this, I honestly don't know if I would be much help because I'm still figuring it out myself. If you use Wix and you've had to set up dynamic pages, but basically it just helps to stop your website running really slowly, because instead of having loads and loads of individual pages, it's one page, actual page that you then tweak each time. I don't even know how to describe it, but yeah, that is where I'm at today. I feel like I've wasted a full day, but at the same time I haven't wasted it because this is going to benefit me in the long run and it'll help to load my website faster. I'm just going to have to go back through every single one that I've ever done and redo it in this format. So yeah, this is one of the joys of being self-employed that you encounter, but it's all good. We get there in the end. You just can't give up with stuff like this. You have to just keep trying to figure it out, and yeah, you will get there in the end. This is just an example of a completed page. So this is the first one that I did, and I've had to add these buttons in because it wouldn't let me add a hyperlink into this text, which is what I usually do, because it's all connected to the same page. So I've had to add these, but basically what it means is that you can go on these pages that you can access from my Patreon. I do want to link them to my main navigation, but that can be a job for another day. So for example, if you click this, it takes you straight to the line drawing on Patreon. So it just means the content's a little bit more organised and you can view the full list before you commit to the Patreon. So today is a very exciting day because I'm going to go and see Paddy. I've got all these dogs set up in the back. I'm going to try and get him out for a walk. It's very windy though, and I know what he's like with walks. He doesn't always go, so yeah, I'm going to see if he's up for it and just pay him a visit if not. I'm well excited. I've not seen him for a couple of weeks now, so I feel like I'm missing him. So yeah, let's go. Please excuse if my audio's gone a bit dodgy. I haven't got my microphone in, but we've come to the dog park. He's just looking at a dog outside. Hey! Hey! Are you excited? He gets so impatient to get out the car. Come on then. Ready? Come on then. Oh, he's a handsome boy. Come on.
Stand by the fire, your tiny hand in mine, your 5 feet off the ground, your rest on my shoulder. The stars convey the light, so fragile in the night, in this moment.
I think Paddy's enjoyed himself today. Yeah, good time, Paddy. Is it time to go home? You're such a little crybaby. I'm gonna miss you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love if you could give it a like if you did. Subscribe to see more videos like this, and I hope you enjoy this random bit of footage from the concert that I went to. We had the best time. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, so bye for now.
I'm gonna get it, she was waiting for the message. This song is called Gary.